Saluton, Jiwei. I hope you're all doing... Say, is the music a tad too loud? I'm gonna turn it up. Standard scuff, you know, standard scuff. I'm gonna... what exactly do I need to do? Music is a tad too loud. Yeah, I kinda imagined. The music isn't just too loud for you, it's also too loud for me. Holy heckaroni. Give me a second. Preparation? What's that? Ahem. Now then, how about I just turn you down, MPV, because you are definitely doing above your pay grade, which is nothing. The resource monitor. Yeah, that is actually a pretty good idea, isn't it? So it's just the monitor, so that I can keep my memory in check. Alright, are we good? Maybe. I just... Can you tell that I haven't streamed for the last 3 months or so? Cool, now then. Hello everyone. Sylvia, thank you for being here. Or congratulations for being first. And thank you also very much for being here. And hello Titan, Enlin, Mokka, Spitfire, Dahlia, Dory, and Tenno. Happy to see all of you. Yeah, as said, please just don't mind my awkwardness. I still need to actually get used to streaming again. I swear Twitch keeps upping the amount of ads. Yes, it does. And also, one thing that I wanted to, or that I had planned anyway, I wanted to restructure my Twitch channel or my streaming a little bit, and I am seriously contemplating of laying down my affiliate status, because, well, it's nice that people can subscribe, but I also don't necessarily want to take their money. Even if they give me their money, I only see like 33% of it. And as thanks for this, I have to run ads regularly, otherwise everyone that joins will get like 30 seconds of pre-roll ads. And I guess the only thing that is positive out of this, the only reason I actually wanted affiliate, is because of the channel points. But if it continues to be this crap, I am really thinking about just, you know, going non-affiliate again. But emotes, yeah. I wanted to be productive today, but I learned that production materials from development were dropped, so I spent through. Believe me, that is very much a mood. Ads when you join the stream is dumb and probably making people click off. Yes, it does. I don't know if I remember this correctly, but there, I think, was a poll a few months ago, maybe even years, where it was actually said that people do click off a stream when they encounter pre-roll ads. So, best solution for now that I have is run 3-minute ads purely when I start streaming, because then, you know, nothing else happens anyway. Then I get 61 minutes of ad-free time, and well, then that's it. So I suppose I cannot stream longer than an hour. Oh well. Now then, what is the plan for today? Mokka has made me aware that SDL3 apparently has now entered API freeze, which means that, I guess for all intents and purposes, the library won't change that much anymore, except for bug fixes and all of that. So I was thinking about actually implementing SDL3 into Cyware now. At least I'll try. Because there are a few slight problems. The first one is I need some kind of debinding, a glue per se. BindPC STL is a very nice library, however it only supports STL2 up to this point. The other possibility is that I just use the C library directly, but, well, I don't know. The way you use C libraries is by just linking to them either statically or dynamically. You know, you tell the linker, hey, I need this. And then you write a heckin' lot of extern-C function declarations, which I really do not want to do by hand. So maybe there is some kind of tool that can do this. And I'm going into this completely blind. I don't know what to do. So I guess the very first thing I need to do is research. So, is STL3 actually available for Fedora, or do I have to... Or do I actually have to compile it myself? Because that would be amazing. Well, let's see. The SDL3 devel? It's available on GitHub? You know what? Yeah. I should probably just clone it and compile it. Even though if I somehow have a memory of having already done this. But apparently not here. Or is it in CPP lang? No, okay. The binary is released on GitHub. I mean, oh, that's what you mean. Oh, really? Like the SO file? Give me a second. And that's very tedious. Yes, it is. Yes, it very much is. And also I need to do this real quick. Perfect. Let's see. Put it in gaming chat. Or I just... Oh, I see. Yeah, in the official releases it's not there, so... Also, Mokka, we have a coding chat for this, so... Maybe more fit? I don't know. SDL3 and what? This only seems... Oh wait, there's a tar XZ. Is this only the source or is this actually... This very much looks like it's... Yeah. Nope. I definitely need to clone it and build it myself. Is there some kind of... Yeah, there we go. Is there some kind of... Yeah. But I'm sorry for the confusion here. This is still very much... SDL has some good docs for getting the binaries. Yeah, that's what I'm currently looking at, or at least I'm trying to. Readme. Are there build instructions? Somewhere. Fedora 35, all available features enabled. Yeah. Or are you actually talking about different kinds, a different kind of docs? Like, SDL3 binaries. Or just docs, I suppose. Alright. Apt-get install lib SDL3 dev. Oh. Oh, so you can just install it? That's it? So... sudo dnf install SDL3 and SDL3 on their main wiki, they have a link for installation. Yeah, that's what I just discovered, I think? No. DNF just gives me no match for argument SDL3. Am I missing something? Why exactly does DNF not find this, even though this says that DNF should have it? Get headers and other build requirements ready for compiling your own STL programs. Okay. Oh, hey, Hugh. Hi, happy to see you. How you doing? I guess I can also just compile it. Like, doesn't really matter that much, does it? So... lang, and there we do a SDL3, or just STL, I suppose. Alright, now. Let's clone this. I just imagine how funny this would be if my PC now dies again. Because I very much expect it to. Still mkdir build and in build we do cmake. Did you use SDL3 devel? Yes, I did. But DNF also said that SDL3 couldn't be found. So I essentially just copied the commands that was on their wiki. You know, I do realize I could have done this compilation before. Alright, it says CMake build config release parallel. I am not that keen on the parallel part because that just screams for my computer to collapse. So how about we just build like this? Devil. I mean, I think it's development. I don't know. Rep, hi. Happy to see you. How you doing? Oh, also, if I could have a little bit of feedback, please. As you maybe have seen, I have updated my overlay a little bit. Oh yeah, you exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to ask right now. Is the black text on the light blue background easy enough to read? I tried white. It was horrendous. But black also doesn't look that good, so I'm more stuck between a, you know. Very easy, I like the new overlay. Okay, that's actually all I wanted to know. Yeah, and while we wait for SDL3 to compile, the only problem I noticed was the lack of gap between lines when it wraps. Oh yeah, that's true, isn't it? Wait, give me a... Yeah. But it's just the badges. Yeah, because the badges aren't... Because the badges aren't centered vertically. Thank you for making me aware of this. I need to... I love how my eyes chitter when I just look at the other monitor. Ooh, ah. Oh, cool, sweet. I like the blue, it matches your bow. Thank you very much. That blue is actually a standardized blue. In all of my overlays, this blue is just my brand color, I suppose. In 10,000 quotation marks. Cool, what do we have here? libsdo3so, libsdo3so, blah 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 blah. Cool, yeah, let's just install this then. And that's it. I should be able to now just link to SDL3 and be good with this. Cool. So the next thing I should do is grab... I could have actually just left a terminal open for this. I should choose a brand color instead of roughly picking color from a palette every time. Well... I think Scuff is also, in a way, very... Scuff is its own brand, if that makes sense, so... Personal C-Lang, SDL. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is I need to grab the SDL.h. Nah, it's probably in source, isn't it? Or maybe not. Is there an include here? Yes, there is. There's SDL3. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this... Okay, so... What should I expect? Yeah. Is there a tool that I can just tell, hey, please, wait, you know. Let's see, I think it was a tool called D-Step or something? Maybe? Convert C headers to D. There has to be something. Let's see. A tool for converting C and Objective-C headers to D modules. Yeah, perfect. So it was called D-Step. Cool. Alternatively install via dub or just take the latest release. 2019. Oh no, I hope it still works. Let's see. Oh wait, I should have the terminal still open? Yes. So, oop. Do I have dstep installed? No. So dub fetch, dub get. What was it? Ah, fetch. Or run, I guess. Dstep. Wait. Well, what's even happening? What is even happening? Building package, warning for package dstep. Can't believe 2019 was 5 years ago already. It's made even worse by the fact that we had a pandemic in between. It's not just 5 years ago. It was... Well, Dragon. Hello, welcome to the Demons. I hope you enjoy your stay. Don't say that. Oh yes, I do say it. It was 1 BC, before Corona. Please specify path manually using configure LLVM path. What? What do you want from me? Cannot find linker flags, not repair directory. But yeah, Dragon, I hope you enjoy your stay. We are currently trying to get SDL3 kind of running, or at least trying to create a debinding for this, but I am not doing this by hand. Okay, so this wants me to have LLVM installed somewhere, or libclang so. Let's just see. DNF provides... what exactly do you want? libclang so, yeah. So, libclang so. That. I think I'm quicker if I just search in the browser. Clang Fedora, let's see. How to install clang on Fedora? Apparently it's really just the clang package. So, yeah, sure. Even though I'm kinda curious why this is so slow. Ah. Okay, so user libLVM blah 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 64. Huh? Fine, I'll do the I'll do the provides. Ah, thank you very much for the most aquatic. Much appreciated. Oh my. There's lots of 4-4s here. Which, well. Come on, please just give me... Ah, thank you. Alright, so we have... I always read the most moist aquatic. I'm gonna steal that from you, thank you. There's less than a whole page of red. Runtime library for clang. So, I suppose clang libs, then just clang libs. What do you want from me? Do you want a particular version? Apparently. Then let's just install the 14 version. Which doesn't exist. Okay. And how about... Are you kidding me? 14 does not exist as a package, apparently. No, it doesn't. And the last version is 10. Or the next highest version is apparently 10. which, if I see correctly, also doesn't exist as a package. This is the most authentic Linux experience. Yeah, and you wanna know the worst part? You don't wanna know the worst part? The worst part about this is the most authentic code from 5 years ago experience. It's dependency hell time, yeah. Well, you know what to do. We all know what to do. Let's take a look. Now then, why exactly do you need... Wait. Where's the source directory? Where is dub? Oh, there we go. npm install Windows now. Yeah, it's just the usual compiling someone else's code experience. Yeah, or that. It really is just that. And also the issue is... when you actually need to compile something that is older than a few years, and it actually relies on something else, you are gonna have a bad time. And you have CLang 14 available. Yeah, Mokka, you are on Arch. That is not surprising, but you wanna know what Arch also has? Crashes. Cool. Source paths, it's just D-step. Okay, cool. The error message is... not here. Shut up. The error message is... could not find libclang, so let's see. Ah, there we go. In configure? What? This file implements a configuration script that will set up the correct flags to link with... I have never before seen a configure script written in D. So basically open source stuff doesn't last more than a year unless it's compiled, of course. Depends. It fully depends. It fully depends on the dependencies that it has. So... screw that! How about we just look for another tool that does the job as well? It can't be that difficult, like seriously now. After all... Also, what is this? MySQL. Ah, I see. There is H2D that was apparently updated 4 days ago. This is why Snap and Flatpak have become more popular. Package library dependencies. That is true, and also hello Jitai, or Cage. Welcome. I hope you are having a nice day, watching me absolutely crap everything. Let's see what H2D does. It's not developed actively. Binding generators on the D-Wiki. Cool. What do we have here? D-step. Thanks. DPP includes C headers, Swig, CREP abandoned, H2D not actively developed. So are you telling me the only... Are you telling me the only thing that I have is D-step, which does not work because I do not have the necessary... libclang. 10 or 9. The idea is that the two most recent versions of libclang are supported. Meh. As if. Latest version and dub. Cool. Mint makes heavy use of Flatpak, so I found some things are a bit of a pain if they're not system packages. Yeah. I do have to admit I am not the biggest fan of Flatpak, but not really because I dislike the concept of Flatpak. I actually think it's pretty cool. It's just that with this kind of isolation, there's also what exactly was my issue again? I don't know. It has been a long time. Maybe those issues have been resolved already. The shared components were a thing with installs in the Windows 98 era. Yay. Yeah, that right, I remember. I think Flatpak doesn't have access to the file system, which in and of itself is a good thing, don't get me wrong. And you can also change various permissions with Flatpaks with various programs. I don't remember the name of the one that I used before. But then I encountered the issue, Flatpak applications were apparently not able to access external storage at all. No matter what permissions I gave it, no matter what, it did not matter. I could not access external storage, which was kind of a deal breaker for me because, well, I had data on an external hard drive, and what am I supposed to do? Just soft linking to it, which, by the way, I tried and also did not work. So, Install the 10 or 9. I mean, seriously now, come on, don't make this difficult for me, please. 10 or 9. Do I have at least 9? No. Fine. Is there something I can install here? Stealing internals download. Let's see, what do we have? Pre-built binaries, 18, 10. You want me to install 10.00? Yes. Sure. Pre-built binaries. Am I blind? macOS, FreeBSD, AArch64. What is AArch64? Definitely not ARM64, I think. ARM, oh, okay. Oh, so that is 64-bit ARM, I see, okay. No. AMD 64 Solaris? Ubuntu? Let me guess. You give me a fucking deb package with this. Oh my god. I'm actually starting to think, how about we don't implement SDL at this point and just continue with our small game. But... Just write your own. I could install CLang and shoot you the binaries. You know what? I'm gonna look into this TarXC. At least you can download the stream dying. Yes, because I actually have a somewhat good internet connection. You're trying to use SDL3 with D. Precisely. The very first thing I needed to do is install SDL3, which is done. But now I need to figure out how to actually... You know that D in the D-lang stands for dead, right? Well, it is certainly not dead. It's not used as much, I give you that. But it's not dead. The only reason why the BindPC package isn't updated yet is because SDL3 just hasn't been released officially. And also, as long as there's one person using D, it's not dead, and that is me. And if at some point, nobody uses D anymore, then it's probably because I'm dead. The download speed just varies widely. Oh my god. Syed better not be dead. Nah, don't worry. You're not gonna get rid of me that easily. Okay, you know what? While this downloads, I could as well just... You said CLang 14 is also okay, or do you really need 10? I mean, I don't know. I was just going after the the error message that said that it would also accept LLVM 14 or something. But this here tells me either 10 or 9. I mean, the two most recent versions of libclang, but still. The question is, of course, does it work then? I don't know. Alright. The error message said that, but we can never really be sure. I mean, it really is like this, isn't it? Does SDL3 have an upstream package repository you can install from? Upstream package repository. Do you mean because of Fedora? Because I already have SDL3 installed. It's just... Ah, well, there we go. There we go. It's actually everything that I need, apparently. And I have looked into if CLang has a package that I can install, but unfortunately not. At least not a version that this thing here accepts. But I find it kind of confusing. Well, there's one other thing. There's one single other thing that I could maybe try that could make all of this obsolete, I'd say. Newer versions of the decompilers, also LDC, support actually compiling and using C code, like C files and all of that, which I don't know if I'm that big of a fan of it, but it could theoretically be used to import the header files. So I'm gonna try this real quick in a test project and just see if this works. Oh, would you look at that? Apparently I already did this. Let's see. I certainly have an SDL3 thingy here. How did I do this then? Import bind BCSTL. Oh, yeah, I used bind BCSTL, which obviously won't really be that much of a use here. Okay, then let me just remove this and recreate. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Now then, I think... Good job, us. I do tend to just forget things, which... Yeah, I suppose is just normal for programmers of my age. In source, I'm just gonna put SDL. And in SDL, I'm gonna move all the headers that, or I guess copy. Personal, CLang, SDL, SDL include. Now then, CP, I think it was L for hardlink, .h, and I want to copy this to project personal. SDL. Sweet. So now we have all of those H files, which I don't think I can import as is. So if I do import sdl.sdl, actually that's it, just SDL. Unable to read module. Yep. But if I create an SDLC, which only purpose is to include SDLH, it works. The question now is, of course, if I can compile this and if I can actually use those functions. So let me see. Yes, let's try calling SDL init. just like this, it legitimately appears to work. At least it knows of the function, so... Do we have a SDL3 example or something that I can quickly put together? SDL app init. Yeah, whatever. So, let's just do a SDL init with SDL init video. I'm not gonna check for error codes this time, I don't care. And SDL window equals SDL create window. However, that has been changed, I think. Now you have to do a create window with properties? Or maybe just doing it like this is also good enough. Window 640 480 SDL window resizable. Yeah. And you take width, height, and flags. So I guess 0. Good enough. Then SDL show window. And then I suppose let's just do an SDL delay and SDL quit. Okay. Undefined reference to SDL init. That is actually expected. What I need to do here is I need to say libs SDL3. I'm a fucking genius. How did this work? Well, we figured out the issue with the bindings, so I can just use it like this. Of course, I unfortunately have no code completion, but we also did not have code completion back then in DOS times, so might as well use this. Cool. So let's switch back to Cyware and let's think about how to approach this. Code completions for the week, precisely. I do have 2 changes here, one with the minutes and one with the worlds. Okay, so how about I just fix crash when removing entity, change GC collect time. Now git switch create feed SDL3. How am I gonna approach this? The very first thing, I suppose, is remove bind BC SDL because I'm not gonna need it anymore. So remove this. I have to add somewhere libs SDL3. I really am not the fan of just keeping C code in here, but Can I at least put it somewhere outside? You streaming your VS Code window is not the proper VS Code experience. What do you mean? Can't you include from your system headers? You need to film your screen. Oh. Right. What Mokka is referencing here is on the VS Code subreddit. For some reason, there are just 10,000 people just posting actual pictures, like photos of their monitors with VS Code, either just asking what theme is this? This is like the most common question. Or why this code no work? And then just like, what was it? Right. One actually said, or one actually tried to type .a./out or something, which was amazing. Very hello, and just use hypercam. I am actually contemplating of adding choke thingies like unregistered video camera. But anyway, let's actually. I should actually read the important questions. Can't you include premium system headers? Maybe. I just don't know how, because it was never a necessity. Can I include from system headers? I mean, it should be possible. Include? No. You know what? For now, it doesn't actually really matter that much. I'm just gonna add this for now, and I can always think about code cleanup later. The true programmer way. So I'm just gonna put it in source scyware and just SDL3. It's gonna be fine. So copy recursive. No. There we go. With the SDLC in there. And now I suppose it's time to do it upgrade and start. Do it upgrade and start migrating to SDL3. Just recently, I saw a pretty good thing about migrating to SDL3. Which... where was that again? Preview release... no. Okay. Migrate to SDL3. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Whole different... lots of stuff about how to actually migrate, which will be interesting. And I suppose I'm gonna start at the engine? Or maybe... oh, I am not sure. There is a SDL subsystem thingy here, so yeah, maybe I should start there. Okay, so bind PC SDL and loader shared lib not necessary anymore. Import scyware SDL3. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna add a package D in there and just do a public import scyware SDL3 SDL. Or actually SDL, like this. Where are all the SDL functions in here? So SDL cursor should still be the same, I suppose? Log function callback. Is there anything about logs? Log set all priority. Log get output function. There is something about this here. The log prefix can set log priority prefix. Fact being removed. Okay, but doesn't seem like there's actually something important for this here, so... SDL surface, create surface from image. Let's see if this... SDL create RPG surface from have been combined into a new function, create surface from. Hi Doc! Welcome, how are you doing? And the parameter order has been changed for consistency with create surface. Okay, so create RGB surface from is now create surface from with height, get pixel format from masks, pixels pitch. Okay, so find the spectrum job. Well, how did it go? Create surface from, and then we have cast int image size x, cast int image size y. Get pixel format for masks. Okay. Get pixel format for masks with the depth, R mask, G mask, B mask, A mask. Then the pixels, which is this. And the pitch. Okay. So let's enjoy this time before Metro cut connection. Lazy day at job. Well, sometimes having lazy days is also nice. Cabbage, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Convert cursor. To what? Oh, from a cursor thing, I see. So, SDL cursors, cursor, and cursors. If not, then we create a surface from image, from this. We free the surface. Howdy do. Doing okay, I'd say. Figuring out how to implement SDL3 in Cyware, which, granted, is probably a bigger undertaking than I initially assumed. So, create color cursor. Let's see, has this been changed as well? No, nothing in the migration docs, so I suppose this is still okay. Is SDL loaded? We don't need anymore, especially because we link at compile time. So I can remove all of this. Then SDL init, I think now returns a bool. Maybe. SDL init interface, SDL init, SDL... Can I please just get to actual SDL init? Please explicitly call SDL init at some point. Cool. So, assuming this returns a bool, we can leave then false, except remove the equals 0. SDL, the super delicious lunch, I'd wish. SDL set log set output function. I think this was also changed. Yes, into set log output function. Then we have an SDL version. Nice theme. Thank you. It's the Darkula theme, I think, if I... Yes, it's called Darkula. I've been using this theme for ages now. Let's see. SDL sys WM info and SDL version info version, also fitting for Halloween. Yeah, that's true. So apparently I can still just call SDL version like this, except the following structures have been removed. SDL version, well, okay, returns the version number, which can be directly compared with another version wrapped with SDL version num. Meant the window decorations to retro. Oh, that's... Yeah, I actually put lots of effort into it. More effort than you might believe. I wanted the theme to look like the common desktop environment with a few slight changes. And I'm actually really happy with it. Returns the version number. So, what does SDL get version do now? It returns the version number. Well, great. What version number? It returns an int. SDL version num major. Is this a macro or is this a function? I suppose this is a macro. You know what the easiest solution for this is currently? Also, I think I should actually increase the editor font size a little bit. Yeah, good enough. Get SDL version. Or print. Cool. SDL get error from string Z. Does this still exist? Apparently. Cool. This just frees the cursors and calls SDL quit. So we should be done here. Next up, window. SDL game controller. This, I think, has been renamed to gamepads now, so... Import... Cyware SDL3. The uke was in text mode. You know... I still think it's kind of crap that you actually have to be subscribed to use the emotes of other people. I mean... I'm in general against the subscription model on Twitch because it's more of a scam than anything else, because the content creators don't really get that much out of it anyway. But yeah, I guess that is just complaints about how Twitch does things, and I have a lot of them. Okay, so game controller does not show up if I look for it, but I distinctly remember there being something like this. Oh wait, probably because I'm in the wrong thing. There we go. Has been renamed to gamepad, and all APIs have been renamed to match. Okay. The game and face buttons have been renamed from A, B, X, Y to north, south, east, west. Okay. Use button labels, ignore them, maybe and to translate correctly into position arguments. Occasionally provide a way to users to swap between southeast and as their accept cancel buttons. Well, so what I need to do then SDL game pad? No. Yes, SDL gamepad. I wish other games called those face buttons north, south, east, west. I mean, yeah, but also it could be a bit confusing for the player. Like, then it wouldn't have to have a graphic on my screen when I play a game made for X's. Yeah, fair. I guess that's fair. But my parents, for example, my dad in particular, is always heavily confused if a game doesn't actually call the button, you know, the button name, so. Gamepad button. Actually, you know, what I could do is just do a replace, search and replace. So we have game controller, which will then be a SDL gamepad. This will so not compile. This will so not compile. SDL game controller button, which I suppose is now gamepad button. So I am doing a music different set of. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get it. Hi Tyra, welcome. Not necessarily coding some spaghetti, but I am most definitely in the range of I am not comfortable with this anymore, because I am essentially using C headers to compile something for D, and I obviously have no code completion for this. So this is a change and pray situation. SDL controller button will have to be renamed, which is now SDL gamepad button. And ABXY has been renamed northeast southwest. So ABXY, this is north, north, south. Wait, what? Give in to the C. No, I am definitely not gonna code in C. And also, this can't be correct. The gamepad face buttons have been renamed from ABX. Wait, I am in the way. I am in the way. There we go. The face buttons have been renamed from ABXY to north, south, east, west. A is north, B is south. What? ABXY cross circle. Yeah, but cross is south, circle is east. Yeah, I think either they screwed this up or I am forgetting something. But A is east, B is south, X is... What was X on Xbox? Left, right? Square. Yeah, okay, so it's west and this is north. And we have left shoulder, right shoulder, back start guide. I wonder if I should then also rename my enum here. Because look at me. Controller button maps. Yeah, fair. Me too. Because look at me. I have ABXY, but then I have cross, circle, square, triangle, which is just aliases. So should I rename this to north, east, southwest as well? You know what? I'm gonna think about that sometime later. Everyone should just use the same mapping instead of doing their own thing. Well, but isn't that the charm of all of this? The charm, I mean. Better than button 0 to 36. Yeah. One of the few things I agree with Sony on. You mean how the PlayStation controller is laid out? Because to be fair, I prefer their layout as well. And hello Maven, happy to see you here, how you doing? Now then, SDL. Let's continue. And the buttons being icons makes them language agnostic. Yep, fair. SDL game controller axis, I suppose, is now gamepad axis, right? Yes. Mount what Everest. Welcome. I hope you enjoy it in this absolute chaos of me trying to figure out how to do things. And should I be honest, I am actually not expecting this to compile. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to port all of this today. But I think if I do it bit by bit, maybe I can actually get it done when Bind BC SDL has actually updated to SDL3. The physical layout of Xbox controller, but the naming convention of PS is better. Well then, let's make our own controller. SDL controller axis, I suppose. Controller axis is gamepad axis, yeah, so controller axis. You're way better programming than I am. It was a miracle I passed programming class. Thank you very much for the compliment. It does mean a lot. If I may ask, out of curiosity, and it's okay if you don't want to answer, what are your difficulties in programming? Is it the algorithmic thinking of how to structure programs, or Is it... yeah, or is it something else? I said if you don't feel comfortable answering, then that is totally okay. And SDL controller access is renamed to SDL gamepad access. Yep. All the new PS5 adaptive triggers and stuff are really cool. Yep. The one thing that I really like to do with Mokka whenever we go to a hardware store is to just start the demo and I just press that adaptive trigger button on the DualShock 5, or what is it called, DualSense 2? Like I'm some cave woman, and then I just put it back. My biggest struggle with program is that the computer does what I tell it to do, not what I want it to do. Welcome, Psychic Salad. Psychic Salad. You know what? That is a real mood. How often does it happen that I am so confused about what's happening, and I'm also kind of angry because I think it's some kind of cosmic ray, and then 2 or 3 days later I figure out, oh no, it was me all along. I also prefer PlayStation buttons, but I don't see them becoming the standard. Too protective about these button icons. Yeah, that's fair. Koton, welcome. It's been a while since the last stream I joined. What's new? Well, what's new? I had a streaming pause of about 3 months. Also because the summer was relentless in Austria. Other than that, I am currently trying to implement SDL3 in Cyware, and that's actually it. SDL game controller, I think, is just... if I just replace SDL game controller with SDL gamepad... oof. No, it's not this easy. SDL game controller get access has been renamed to SDL get gamepad access, so this is not a simple search and replace. But it's only once, so let's do this. Cyware, is that a new software project? It's called Cyware, like this. It's my game engine / framework, however you want to call it. Yeah. Has existed for quite a while now. It's okay, Koton, no worries. It has existed for quite a while now, I think since 2018. But I've only really taken it seriously since 2023. So, yeah, here I am. And theoretically, it's already possible to make games in Cyware. Like, just recently, I started making a small test game just to test out the waters, how the engine works and all of this. But I don't think we will see much compilation today because, well, it's still free. I'm bad at remembering names, and I mostly learn to remember how things work by experimenting. There's something a lot of time to try out when homework was piling up. Yes, there I can only say, with all of my heart and with all of my piled up anger, I can just say, fuck the school system, fuck how universities teach programming, fuck everything. What they teach you about programming in university isn't the real deal. I mean, in some ways, yes, and obviously you do need to learn the basics. You need to learn algorithmic structures, you need to learn how things work, and common patterns, yes. But the way university and also just school in general teaches you programming, if I wouldn't have been able to program before I entered the last school that I was at, it would have destroyed all of my motivation for it. And I saw this destroyed motivation with many of my friends who actually wanted to program, but then the school just did a horrendous job with it. So, Yeah, I get it. But I wouldn't say that this makes you a bad programmer, because in the eyes of my old school, I was also a bad programmer. I even had a negative grade, or a non-passing grade, at one time, because of bullshit reasons. So, yeah. And once again, I don't want to say that I'm the best programmer there ever was. I definitely am not. But I think I can say with high confidence that I'm a pretty good programmer. And yeah, the school definitely has not given me that feeling at all. And it also has not encouraged me at all. So... Fuck iOS automations. Yeah, that is also true. Game engine. Oh my god. Oh my good luck on your future endeavors. Thank you. I mean, as said, this already exists for quite some time now, so it's not a new project that I've started, because otherwise I would throw in the towel pretty quickly, I think. This thing has organically developed over the last couple of years. And initially, very initially, Cyware started as a physics assignment. Because after I went to that school that I just talked about, I went to a game development school, which, I'm gonna be honest, was also shit. But still... And there was a physics assignment where they said we should write our own physics engine. And we should just use, I don't know, Unity or something and just do our own physics calculation. And I just said, screw it. I'm gonna write a whole engine from scratch because I wanted to do that for a long time then anyway. And even though there's not much left of the code that I have written back then, some is still there. Somewhere deep in Cyware, I'm sure there is code buried that is at least 6 years old at this point, so... The web developer professor I had actually wanted to teach us Flash. Yeah. Somewhere there's a hello world. Thankfully not this. But... I think the way I abstracted buffers and all of that for graphics stuff is still from back then. I mean, I just need to... Yeah, like this, for example. Obviously, this has changed a bit. I did change a few variables. I obviously added documentation and all of this, yes. But in essence, this code here is 6 years old, so don't touch a running system, I suppose. Except, of course, I'll do now, because I'm gonna put SDL3 in there. Come on, return me to where I was. Thanks. Actual mathematicians too use AI to learn proof check it, yeah. I think I'll pick up program again now that AI can explain every minute detail of what simple code works. Is that question? Event diet. Welcome. I saw SDL3 in the front page and was like, ooh, that release. Yeah, except I am currently still struggling of actually implementing it. But as long as you have some, how is it called again? Geduld. Patience, right. As long as you have some patience with me, I'm sure it will work out just fine. I hope you're doing well too. And Mount What Everest about controversial take of using AI to learn how to code. I mean, I suppose it is a controversial take because of, well, how people react to it, and also I think, yeah, the music ended. Let's actually take a new thing. How about certain shades of blue? Sweet. But AI does have some advantages. Like, for example, you can ask it any particular question that you have, and it can usually answer in very precise detail. One big issue that AI still has is hallucinations. So obviously, you can use AI to learn, and I think go ahead, because whatever tools are out there to learn people help programming or just learn skills in general is something that should be encouraged. But especially with AI, and I mean, I guess everything, you also can't really trust like some random blog, but still, just do a double check if it's actually correct. Sorry for unsolicited advice. I learned how to make model. Well, that's nice. I definitely did not, because Cyware is not by me. Cyware. Cypuppet, I mean. Did I use add source reference with double check if I was... Yeah, that I think works the best. Like, if you use an AI that actually gives you the sources, then I think that is the best approach to it. And yes, Freb, you're also correct. With AI, you do definitely need to ask precise questions, because I've tried a few times to coerce AI into, hey, can you maybe help me with this with a particular topic, but I didn't ask particular questions, and, you know, help me understand, and it wasn't really that useful. SDL game controller get attached. I suppose this is now called get gamepad attached. Or not. It's called SDL gamepad connected. Queer AI. Did I say queer AI? Well, I didn't mean it, but when... but if I... Well, then it's a very nice coincidence. SDL, let's see. SDL window, SDL gamepad, that seems to be correct. It's a great way to support your learning, but I'd never use it exclusively. Yeah, but what I said, AI is a tool, as well as any other tools. It's just one more tool that allows you to learn. And I think, in a way, this is invaluable. Because having... I wasn't planning to suggest it. Yeah, it's... Sorry, it's just the way I talk. But yes, it's... I think tools where people can learn is invaluable. Even though some people out there seem to be of the opposite opinion. Should I be honest? I will probably never ever understand elitism. I really won't. I think I've talked about this with Mocha privately recently, but there's also this... I knew this game before it was hyped and and yeah, good for you. Great. or how about the I want to learn how Linux works. How does that work? And then you just get a 4-letter response with RTFM for read the fucking manual. Or how about you are not a real programmer unless you code insert some random language in here like C++, C, assembly, whatever. Like, what's your point? How will we know if programs are classically trained or not? How about we don't? Source graphs AI destroys at navigating a post code base ahead to mod for work. But that's actually cool. That's really cool. Gamepad controller get attached. Yeah, this is just is gamepad connected, or wait, is connected and attached? No, it's one and the same. So then we have SDL controller name, which is get gamepad name. Really tall fish, man. I also love when I look something up and find a thread upon the answers being this has already been asked before. Yeah. A bad programmer will not suddenly be a good programmer with just AI, so a bad carpenter won't be good with a better hammer. Yeah, precisely. I mean, I do usually use Copilot too. I mean, not during streams because I think it has a certain charm to it. Charm, I mean, German. It has a certain charm to it if the AI doesn't write everything out while I, stream. But if you just purely rely on Copilot, for example, the code it produces is sometimes hilariously shit. And sometimes it hallucinates so bad that you could think it consumed something. Especially if we go into territory of documentation. You're not an AI? No, I'm a cyborg. Even though my arms are mechanical and I am seated most of the day, my brain is still very much organic. I actually think on the big advantage LLMs will be in one's trained and providing help and documentation with bespoke closed source code bases. Yeah. If I consume stuff, my code gets better. I cannot confirm. Everybody knows that programmers use a magnetized needle and a steady hand. Yes. I actually... sorry. I actually read so many shitty takes where... One take actually really annoyed me. Like, obviously it was in the YouTube comment section, which is a cesspool in of itself, and if you have uBlock Origin or some kind of ad blocker, I very much suggest you to just block the YouTube comment section. It's not worth it. But I do remember a few months ago there was some discussion about programming in there or something, and there was one person that said OS programming or operating system programming seems really intimidating. And you know what? It is intimidating. Kernel development and operating system development is the hardest section or the hardest thing to do in IT. There is nothing that is harder than actually writing a kernel and an operating system. And you know what response that got? From one smartass that said, well, if you're intimidated by writing an operating system, then you shouldn't be a programmer in the first place. Shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? What's the point? What's the point of going around and telling people, yeah, you're not a real programmer, stop it? Like, no. If I consume stuff, my code gets uber-fied. If you're that one dev who's been there for 100 years, leaves and hasn't updated Confluence, yeah. Interesting, I've put compiler writing at the top, so OS just under it. Well, the thing is, compiler development, I think, is actually the second most difficult. Because, at least if we're talking about compilers that actually compile down to machine code. Also, I bet OS development pays well too. I would definitely say so. Like, I think the Windows team in Microsoft gets paid not a bad sum. I don't know about the people that work mainly on the Linux kernel, but since corporations are involved, I also do suspect that they get paid a good sum, so yeah. But, yeah, when you write a compiler that compiles down to machine code, yes, you need to abstract all of the different machines and all of that into some kind of intermediate representation and do some kind of optimization of that, yes. But if you're writing an operating system, you also have to do that. But on an even more hard or even harder level, I'd say. Because you essentially have to write an abstraction layer for all possible computers out there. And then you also have to keep in mind BIOS, that's too old, but you still should have some support for it. The new kid around the block is UEFI, and while booting with UEFI is a bit simpler if you write an EFI, everything else is not simpler because, I mean, it was standard practice anyway to go into protected mode as quickly as possible and not rely on the BIOS for anything. But now you seriously have to do that because UEFI does nothing for you, to my knowledge. Like, it gives you a frame buffer where you can just write stuff. Yeah, that's the next thing. UEFI has a frame buffer, not a text buffer, a frame buffer, which means that you actually have to render your text into... You know, it's not as simple as writing some text into a specific memory address anymore. So, writing OSs or writing kernels has become a lot more complicated in the recent years. Your own browser engine is the final boss. No, you know what the final boss is? I'm still waiting for Enlin to start on that, that we two start on the kernel project, where the only thing that is written in C is the V8 engine, and everything else is in JavaScript. JSOS, exactly. Everything is in JavaScript. Drivers are JavaScript. The kernel is in JavaScript, except for the lowest part. That will be amazing, won't it? I lift 800 kilograms every day. If you can't do that, you shouldn't lift anything. Exactly. Drivers in JavaScript. And that is precisely why I want to do it at some point. It's just so... It's so horrendously cursed. Maybe someday when I decide I have nothing better to do, I will actually start this project. Also, you know what? SDL3 porting, yes, interesting, but I feel like it might be... I'm contemplating of committing what I did now and putting it into the SDL3 branch, which I will also publish afterwards, but then maybe switch back to the next branch and continue work on that small game that I am doing for, well, test purposes. Because I slowly start to think maybe it would be better if I use one of the provided tools that the SDL team also has released, which is some kind of... like, it parses code and replaces all the symbols with, like, all the deprecated symbols with the new symbols. I don't know if it works in D. If it doesn't, then I can just do a search and replace everywhere. But, you know, this is something that could be automated, and I don't necessarily need to do everything by hand. So you know what? I think I'll do that. Because actually porting to SDL3 has proven to be more boring than I anticipated. Alright, let's commit all of this and say... start implementing SDL3. Publish branch. Cool. Then let's switch again to next. Callbacks has an error. No, it... Ah. Probably because I need to do a dub upgrade again, which is weird. Why exactly do you have an error now? You don't. Okay, cool. So that was just a fluke. Also nice. Now then, if we remember... Oh, and I should probably change... continuing work on my engine, game engine, test game. And remove the SDL3 thingy. Sweet. Now then. Last time... if I could type. Why am I an SDL3 test? Death. No. Cyware, death games, death chariot. There we go. Dub build and launch. There we go. Now I'm matching a flap for doors to get long ukes through. That would be kind of cool. Also, building configuration unit test. It builds the unit test configuration for releases, which is kind of weird. Anyway, this is that test game that I made here yesterday, which works somewhat. Also, the enemies that you see here is actually this sprite, but with a red modulate and flipped vertically. So for some reason this looks like a bleeding face, but I'm all in for it. It's Halloween anyway. You know what? I kind of get an idea with this. Initially, I just wanted to make this a test game, and I mean, it still is a test game. But, right, how about I just make a small shoot 'em up for Spooktober? After all, it is that time of the year again. I'm just... This now goes into game design territory, but I am currently thinking about, should I add more player classes? Like right now I have myself, Sai, and Mokka. This here is just a green version of Mokka, so this was just a test. Or if 2 is enough. Like, if we think of the Toho games, most of them just have 2 characters to select from, so... Needs every VTuber, every single one. Scope creep. Yeah. You know what? No, I think I will just leave it at 2 and just... Well, so apparently VS Code just crashed, which is amazing. Give me a second. But I kinda expected this. It's a Smash Ultimate of VTubers. Which one of you is the witch and which is the Shrine Maiden? Good question. I think I would be the Shrine Maiden, whereas Mokka would be the witch. I think that would fit quite well to her. Alright, let's open Death Chariot again. If I need to change something in the engine, I can just do it here, so it should be fine. However, what I will do real quick is I will shortly go AFK. I need to take care of, like, myself. I'll be back in a minute or so. So, be right back. Also, Mickey Maven, hello. Wait, did I already say hello? I'm sorry if I did. My brain is sometimes a bit foggy. I already did. Yeah. I'm sorry. Still, I'll be right back. And I am back. I just realized that I didn't actually have the my stinger transition between scenes for some reason. Well, now it's here. Rearrange all the keys on the keyboard where she's gone. I would put Y key where the Z is. Well, I'm one step ahead because I am living in a German country, in a German-speaking country. Even though I am using the US keyboard layout, because let's be honest, being able to do this without having to press Alt-GR is really nice. Or, you know, this without pressing like 10 different buttons. Okay, so also let's increase the font size. Which servers requested us to reconnect? Okay. I should not have missed anything. Now then, if I actually really want to make this a real game, I should probably think a little bit about what I want to do with this. Let's remove the speed multiplier again, because I think that was just a stupid idea anyway. Build and... Actually, I just need to launch. I don't need to build it again. There we go. What can I make out of this? Also, don't mind the log spam down there. This runs at a resolution of 320 by 200, so I don't really have much screen real estate, but that shouldn't really stop me. I'm just thinking about what would be a good concept for, or a fun concept for a Halloween themed vertical shooter. Because I don't want to start making levels or something, like, no. The most I want to do is in the essence of Toho, I suppose, like, not that Toho is a small game, but what I want to say is maybe just have a fancy background and then just have a file that just tells you at this particular frame or at this particular time, this enemy spawns here. Nothing else. And then just have a time scale. No, not time scale. How is this called again? You know what I mean. So I would say, let's do this first, so that I can actually create levels. Which means shooting zombies. Toho, but Space Invaders. Toho Invaders. No. Shooting zombies. I was actually thinking about making it more light-hearted, like shooting at pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns, for example. But what I am essentially shooting at doesn't really matter that much. I'm more thinking about the game design aspect of this, because if I already make a game with this, I want to make it at least fun. But I think just a score collection thingy, where maybe, you know, we could compete with who has the high score. That in and of itself, I think, is already quite good. So, which of course means that it can't have a limited amount of levels. Except, of course, if I rotate the levels, like when you get to the last one, you start at the first again, but maybe this time a bit harder, like the enemies are stronger or something. Yeah, I think that could work. Yeah, that could work. Right. So, let us think about how to actually design, or how to actually create the level files. First of all, in state, I am currently setting a timeout to spawn enemies, which I will remove. The game camera will never move. Never. Ever. So I can just do this. Camera equals new camera 2D, and then camera and camera, which I don't need to assign here. Okay. Then we instantiate the player here, which will probably be changed afterwards as well. But now, let's create a levels folder. And in here we do a level1.lvl. And this will just be SDL. This time not SDL in the sense of simple direct media layer, but simple declarative language. And now... I guess I could do a spawns. Or enemies, things, actors. I think actors is pretty good. And then let's say the enemy ID. So like for example, Jack-o'-lantern or just Jack. And then the position where it spawns. So let's say 100-0. No, not quite. Because maybe I actually want to... Maybe I actually want to say when something happens first. Like time and then, let's say 10 seconds in. And in here I say this with this particular position. I could also say movement or whatever, but... And once again, and this time it spawns at like 50 or something. I mean, I realized that having it in a declarative file like this does mean that you can't use for loops or something, but well, that's just the way it is. Then I don't necessarily need the actors thing anymore, because I can also just... Because this could actually be some kind of scripting here. So, like, I could also show a message here if I want. But I need a way to declare the background. And in there I could say, I don't know, layer, and then the path to whatever. And then... roll, and also once again a vector too. Yeah, I think this could work. I think this could work. Then let's start parsing and implementing this. Or rather, before I parse this, I'm gonna create the structures first, see if I can create them in code, and then actually parse it from files. I think that would be smarter. So I have game, and in here I have background D, which is just a struct. And in there we have a layer, and the layer has a texture 2D, which is the image, and the vector 2 scroll. And this is why people use JS for conf. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I still like the way of having a configuration thingy that is not necessarily the language that you're programming in. It feels a bit cleaner, if that makes sense. Well, and that's it. And then we have layers. Zero, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay in this weird everything of what I'm doing. I mean, that is essentially it, isn't it? So, in this state, Hello, how you doing? Chariot game background, and then here I just say background. Right, but if I have it like this, then I definitely need the layer positions separately. So back to background layer positions. However, do I really want to... Do I want to put level data into the game state? I mean, theoretically I can, nothing's stopping me, but I don't necessarily think that it's the cleanest approach. No, I'm gonna create a separate thing for this, and I'm also using this there. So, struct level data. There we go. Then we have... Actually, I can just call it like this. Then we have level data. And in there, we have a background data. And then I need actor information, or at least time information. I guess it's timeline? Yeah, timeline. This is why XDG has distinct share and state directories. Share and state directories. What do you mean with this? Struct timeline. Actually, you know, I can just call it background and timeline. There we go. And in there, I need an event. I wonder if I should maybe implement this in an object-oriented way instead of doing it like this. Or at least use inheritance, I mean. Actually, no. No, that's not necessary. So in event, I have a... struct spawn info, and in there, oh my god, I have a string entity name and a vector2 position. Then I have spawn infos and events. Time. Or should I maybe save it as duration so that I can... Yeah, let's say duration time. And then I have events. So I have a timeline which contains events. This event can have a time when it occurs, and then a list of spawn infos which are an entity name and a position. Yeah, should work. So it's a timeline. And if I think about it, I could theoretically make this a class, because this is a resource, so... Which means that if I if I declare something as an asset, I can later on load it with the asset manager, which also handles caching and all of this. Okay. That should do it. So then, I'm gonna import this here real quick. Then I need the level data. And then I have the background layer positions. I think I can actually make this an entity. I can make this an entity and add it to the game layer, which would probably be easier. Yeah, I'm gonna make this an entity. I'm gonna put it in this file for now. It's fine. And this is just background. I said this is just background. So we have class background or level background extends entity. What was it? Visual entity 2D. I can actually make it final, I think. Then I have a background information. And in here I have the scroll positions. Then what do entities need again? I think they need... Oh, nothing, right, because that's being set outside of the constructor. So I need a background, which I just initialize here. And this will be background data layers.length. Yes. Oh, yeah, sure. Even though it's even though it's a struct anyway, but oh well. Then I'm gonna override the tick method because I need to actually scroll the backgrounds. So for size ti, I lower than m scroll positions.length. M scroll positions I plus equals m background data dot layers I dot scroll times frame time delta time seconds. And in draw 2D we actually render all of the layers. So I do this again. Or I think actually... No, it's fine. Draw to D const not implemented. Okay. So render 2D dot draw. Vixia, hi! Welcome, how you doing? In rect dimensions. Do I want to make sprites out of all of this? I mean, theoretically I can, but... No, it's fine. Doing good, how about you? I'm doing okay. Currently writing a small game with my game engine, Cyware, or game framework. I'm still not sure how you really want to call it. And... yeah, that's it actually. So, not much going on. So, rect to vertices, game frame engine exactly. Or dest. Game gin. So I guess I can take the scroll positions. Oh, wait a second. True. Those backgrounds are not mirrored right now. I mean, not that is not the biggest issue, but first I need to figure out how to actually render this. And scroll positions Y. I need a reference to the texture. That is m background data layers I.text or image. Let's actually rename this to texture. I think that would be better. Okay. Texture size X and texture size Y. And then draw. Draw, I said. Destination. Please. Position, scale, rotation, modulate. Actually, now that I think about it, this I can leave at 0, 0 because I can just put the position in here. So M scroll positions Y, I mean. Scale will be vector 1. Wait. Rotation is then, right? Yes, rotation, which is 0F. Modulate is color white, but do I need... Yes. So color white and then the texture. Need anything else? I don't need a material. I don't need a region. Cool. So this should now at least... This should now at least draw the background. So let's test. Also, I can make this an immutable rect. There we go. So first of all, we need to create a background information. So background or data, no, background data equals. And here we have layers. So layers, this. Label layers is not used. Wait, label? Label? Eh? Oh, yeah, because it's an array, right? Do it now? Yes, cool. And now I need a texture and a scroll value. I don't know, do I have a good texture that I can use as a background? Not necessarily. Then I guess I'm gonna draw something real quick. Let's see. What amazing background am I gonna draw? Oof. How about a color that actually is readable? Cool. Now I'm just gonna save this real quick. Just personality stuff. Feeling. I guess I'm just gonna put it into levels and just say background.png. Cool. Right, so the texture is now an asset manager load texture 2D. Res. Levels, background, PNG. That should do it. And scroll will be vec 0 for now. Any complaints? No. So, game layer instantiate level background with the background data. Cool. Don't disappoint me, please. The build and launch. Water. Well, it disappointed me. Levels background PNG not found. What? It's weird how the word water in any form shape triggers me to grab my bottle and take a sip. Well, we streamers are conditioned. Conditioned to just grab the next water bottle whenever we hear it. Oh, wait. I completely forgot that this has to be written differently. There we go. And the background is not rendering. Yay! Why? Levels, background PNG. You forgot to ask nicely. Oh no, I actually know why. I know why. The scroll positions are not... the scroll positions are not initialized. Like, I'm setting the length here. But I also need to explicitly initialize everything with vector to 0. Otherwise, it will have values of not a number. Like float.nan. And that screws all things up because every arithmetic operation with not a number results in not a number. So, so SDL3's lower than M scroll positions, that length. There we go. Now it should work. Haha! And now let's actually try to implement scrolling, because that is kinda important. So, my boss recently described NaN as contagious. It is contagious. It definitely is. Okay, so as it currently stands, this thing scrolls off the screen and never returns. So, the very first thing that I should do is actually make it so that it jumps back to 0 whenever it scrolls out of the screen. Mirroring I will do afterwards. So M background data layers length, and then we add the scroll position. That is fine. If M scroll positions dot y, wait, I dot y is greater than, well, what do I need? Theoretically, screen size y would be enough. But then again, that would mean that every background has to have, that must be at least as tall as the screen, which is not ideal. So I think I can just say M background data dot layers I dot texture dot size y. Then I'll just reset it to 0. Let's see. And now I just need to mirror it. So I'm just gonna draw it a second time on top of there. So M scroll positions plus or minus back to 0 texture size y. Well, there we go. And this can now be used for anything and everything, so. But since I obviously now only want to support vertical scrolling, I think I can also just ignore horizontal scrolling and just say, hey, this just scrolls vertically, which means that I also only just need vertical scroll positions. High under the water, why? Why not? Is background layers length, blah blah blah, is 0f. M scroll positions y is scroll positions. That should work, however. Oh, there we go. If scroll position is greater than texture y, then reset it to 0. And vec2 0 m scroll positions and vec2 minus tell some bad joke. Of course, I'm gonna give you one of the best bad jokes you've ever heard. What kind of game is this gonna be? By the looks, it reminded me of Galaga. Not that... Yeah, it's actually quite a good guess, or a good thing. Sorry. Bleh. It is gonna be a Halloween-themed vertical shooter, or shoot 'em up, where I thought the fun in it would be when we all compete for score, because I do not have the time or energy to actually create a huge game out of this. This is just mostly to test Cyware for its capabilities. Now then, bad joke you say. Give me a second. I need to... Oh my god, the dust. So, Eventide, since you have never previously redeemed this, and for everyone that also doesn't know, the bad jokes thingy actually means that I'm gonna read a joke out of the German book Das große Buch der Witze, lach mal wieder, or translated The Great Book of Jokes, laugh once more, or laugh again. And the jokes in there are as bad as the title lets you think. So, good thing I speak German. Well, even better. I am gonna translate the jokes into English, but I'm gonna read the original German joke afterwards every time. So let's see. I'm gonna pick a random page. This one, this one, yeah. The new year stands before the door. Count someone. Well, then let the new year in, Johann. Or in German, das neue Jahr steht vor der Tür, Herr Graf. Na, dann lassen Sie es doch rein, Johann. Is it funny? No. It's just there. This is not even a bad joke that's funny. It's just a bad joke. Okay. Now then... Right, the scroll speed will be 100 here. Let's see if this works. Peak German humor, it's no laughing matter, precisely. Interesting. The bullets render behind the background, because I can't see the bullets anymore. Well, fantastic. I laughed a little. Well, no worries, Luna. And hello, hello. How you doing? I mean, let's be honest, I also sometimes laugh about bad jokes. Why? Yeah, that is to be... Oh, of course. I first need to instantiate the background, then the projectile manager, and then the player. Because the instantiation order also determines the render order. It's not ideal, I know, but for now it suffices. Yep, there we go. Cool. And just to test... Right, I should probably also add an offset, so... Offset will be vec2 0. Scroll will be 0. Cool. And in here... this will be a bit annoying. So... Immutable base, no, vec2 base position equals m background data layers I dot offset plus this, essentially. Or actually it's minus it. No, it's plus. It's plus. So this here will be the base position, and this here will also be the base position, except I will essentially undo what I did before. Nice. So now I can say I want the same background again, just as a test thing. But it should scroll faster, and it has an offset of, let's say, 160. Yep. Backgrounds work. So theoretically I can do something really fancy with this if I want. Luna, thank you so much for following. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the scuff. Now then, background is implemented. So now I guess we go to the timeline. So first of all, I need a duration, which is the level time, which will be initialized as duration 0. Once again, should I let an entity do this, or should the game state do this? Because I am actually not yet quite sure how I want to structure games made in Cyware. So you can essentially program everything you want into the game state or into the app state, but this is more or less designed to split functionality into entities. So maybe I will also add a spawner entity, or a timeline parser entity, or however you want to call it, which I think I will do. So final class timeline controller inherits entity, but it's not a visual entity because it doesn't need to render anything. Or does it? Actually, it may, because if I want to add messages later on, it does need to render something at least. So, oh, we're also already 2 hours into the stream. That was rather quick. I'm gonna finish the timeline controller, and I think then I'm gonna say it's enough for one day. But I definitely need to give my iPhone a bit of charge, otherwise PyPuppet will be rather emotionless. Time is a scam, yeah. As reference, I need the timeline. And the level time. In tick we have a frame time, and in here I just say level time plus equals frame time dot delta time. Having to check every... Hey, Lane! Hi! Happy to see ya! How you doing? Having to check every single frame doesn't sound nice. Hi, Sai. Hi, Goop! How you doing? And thank you for... And Stewie, hi! I need to stretch. Need to stretch. I can't stay long, but I'm so happy to see you. That is fine. I am not planning on streaming for much longer anyway, because, well, I've been on it for 2.25 hours now at this point, so... Okay. Checking every single event, every single frame is not productive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the timeline when I get it assigned. So m timeline equals timeline. Yeah. Please allow me to do this. I want a copy of this. It's a struct. You can give me a copy of this. How do I get a copy? Well, I suppose just do it like this because assignment is copying anyway. And when I have it, I'm gonna sort the events based on the time. So that in here, I can only check the first event every frame. And if that event gets fired, I'm gonna pop it off. And then I can check the next one. And then I don't need to repeatedly go through every single event entry. So... Also, did the music stop again? Yes, it did. Alright, next. Next up, what do we have? How about rain? Pop the event like it's hot, precisely. And hello, Iron, for it. Happy to see ya. Hope you're doing well. Right, and I need to initialize level time at duration, or to duration 0. SD sort, how does this work again? Or SD algorithm sort. Timeline. I'm procrastinating setting up Hyper-V failover cluster. Procrastinating in the sense of at work, or is this something that you do as a hobby? And start sort. A dot time lower B dot time. This should sort it. Maybe. Then if actually let's do a while, because maybe there are 2 events that fire at the same time. So while level time is greater than timeline events 0, or rather timeline.events.length is greater 0 and there we go. Then timeline.events equals timeline.events 1 black, and work, I'm actually doing it, just needs an alternate stimulation. I get it. I get it. Even though, funnily enough, I personally couldn't handle that. I've noticed at multiple occasions that when I'm working, like on actual work, that watching streams or something is actually kind of how do you call it? My English is failing. That is a very good sign that we're reaching the end slowly but surely. But first, I really want to get this timeline to work. Counterproductive. Yeah, I suppose that's true. So let's do a logger client log, and I just want to log timeline.events. Distracting, thank you. Yeah, English is not my native tongue, and you can notice. Function is not callable using argument types event. Fine. We good now? Yes, except that it should be info. Today I was procrastinating updating your Q&A's cluster. Procrastination happens everywhere, absolutely. And I think procrastination is also kind of important in a way. Because we are not machines that can work 24/7. Humans are not designed to do this. And projectiles need to refresh the brain. Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, right now, because my brain is slowly failing. Zen, welcome. Happy to see ya. And this gets a timeline, so we do a timeline. Events. And in here I can now define some events. Like, it's actually not that important. The most important is that I can say, hi Sam, is that I can say duration seconds 5. And haven't anyone actually Haven't seen anyone actually using D-Lang. Yeah, it's unfortunately... Oh. Doc, thank you so much for resubscribing.
Wow, 20 months of cybernetically enhanced cuteness.
Thank you, that is very sweet of you to say. Thank you so much for the resubscription. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Is it like C? Yes. The syntax is comparable, or it is a C syntax. It is also low level, but you can see it as a natively compiled C# with very powerful... Oh my god. Thank you so much, Lane. That is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a good rest of night, day, or whatever it is for you. Once again, thank you very much. Really, thank you. The gift and drum. Right, you can compare it to a statically native C# with powerful templating, powerful but easy templating, and a small ecosystem. I think that's kind of the best. So D-Lang is if C and C# had a child. Yeah. I think I would actually describe it like that. Alright, timeline. Please tell me it works. It would be so great. It would be so great if after 5 seconds I see a log on the bottom. Let's see. Well, there we go. The event fired. So, now, just to test, I want to add another event. But this time, this one happens 7 and 3. I want to see if the sorting actually works correctly. So, first the 3 should fire, then the 7. Perfect. I would recommend if you do get into D-Lang, stay away from the forums. Yes. Yes. I'm glad this appears to be really working. Well, thank you. But yes, what Luna says, I would suggest you not go near the forums. They are a bit toxic. Just a bit. Now I'm actually very tempted to implement the spawn info thingy. Because right now, yes, I'm printing something, but that is not that interesting. I would rather like to have enemies spawn. So I guess I just go through the spawn info of that event and do whatever it tells me to do. So for each const ref event spawn info in m timeline dot events 0 dot spawn infos. And in each info I have an entity name and a position. Do you use SDL2? Yes. I hope I have removed the SDL3 tag. Yes, I did. Yes. SDL3 is currently in development, and I think, yeah, and it also has a preview available. And I actually already started porting Cyber a little bit to SDL3, but it's a really boring thing, so I decided to actually go into game dev here instead of continuing the mindless replace symbols with newer symbols. So layer or world layer, the toxic sludge. Yeah, what Luna says, and yeah. So this is using your engine still on SDL2, precisely. Cyware currently runs on, was AFK for a while, and that is okay. Cyware currently uses SDL2 for almost everything except for rendering, which it currently uses OpenGL. World layer.instantiate, and then let's do enemy. No, wait, what was the enemy name again? I had some really stupid long name. Wavy dead face with blood and some enterprise level naming, right? How about we just do check O Lantern for now. Cool. And I guess I can already do a switch here. So final switch, no, switch on info.entity name. And then we do case check. No abstract singleton proxy factory bean interface. I hate enterprise naming so much. I don't understand how this happens. I don't understand why you even want to do this. Like, seriously. So SDL you only use for windowing inputs, texture loading, etc. Not for texture loading. For texture loading, I use a Gamut, which is just an image loading thing. And then I just take the pixels from it and put it into a texture, like an OpenGL texture or something. I will probably use texture loading for, SDL for texture loading when I use SDL3 with SDL GPU, however. But yes, for the rest. Like, SDL2 is actually really used for almost everything. It's just that rendering currently is, you know. And so world layer.instantiate check O Lantern with the projectile manager, which I obviously need to projectile manager. And then I pass this on. And in case we have a unknown entity name, we just say logger client warning, tried to instantiate unknown entity s. And then info.entityname. Oh, right, I still need to pass the position. So this will be info.position. Event.spawninfo. Yeah, because it's timeline.event.spawninfo. Cool. Timeline controller now also needs the projectiles. And that should do it. Now I should be able to write spawn infos. Entity name, or yeah, entity name is check, and position is a vec2 160 0. Cool. After 3 seconds, it should spawn an enemy. Would you look at that? It spawned an enemy. Sweet. And with this, I'm done for today. Next time I will just implement that it can be loaded from a file. Maybe I'll add some commodities into it as well, so that, I don't know, I can maybe write, I want a wave of enemies from left to right, and then the parser just creates the fitting spawn info for this, and, you know, all of that. But for now, I think this is pretty nice. So, oh, by the way, I just saw a hype train has completed at level 4. Thank you very much. And also, obviously, thank you very much to Lane, even though she's not here anymore, but wow. Thanks for the stream. Well, you're welcome. Let's see who can be a raid victim today. Well, I just found my raid victim. We are gonna raid a fellow Austrian VTuber. So give her the hugest regards, please. Also, I have a raid message just in case. Ignore stream elements. Take Nightbot, please. I need to fix this. But yes, thank you all very much for being here. It means a lot. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of your evening or day or whatever your time zone is. A good rest of your time zone. I think that sounds good. So, bye-bye. Wait. I can... the rate now button is not enabled yet. Ah! I look like an idiot. Okay, cool. Now it works. Okay, bye-bye.